You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boyz, where we're talking about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And tonight, got a pretty special show for you, man. Got a special guest coming on. I see him on Twitter all the time. Got a huge following. It's Ohio's Tate from Barstool Sports. Does a bunch of those bets if he wins or if we lose. He's got to eat peeps and different things like that. An awesome personality. If you don't follow him on Twitter, get on there and follow him. Very entertaining person to follow. So he should be joining us here in the next couple minutes. He's going to hop on, and he'll only be here for about 10 or 15 minutes. But just to let y'all know, man, some big things are happening here on Buckeye Boyz. Get ready for tomorrow's show. Because tomorrow's show, as of right now, there are two players that started for the 2002 National Championship team that will be joining us tomorrow. So I'll drop those names once I confirm. One of them is confirmed for sure. Waiting on the other one to get back to me, and I'll put their names in the title. But that's going to be a pretty fun show. Mello, what you think, bro?
Man, this show is going to be lit. Tomorrow's show is going to be lit. About to go ahead and ride on out the rest of the college football season. We're going to have banger after banger, so stay tuned, lock in, share, let everybody know. We got some big things happening. We're about to turn a corner here.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking be prepared, because I'm thinking we might go Thursday and we might go Friday as well. Just be ready, because we sent a lot of messages out to a lot of people to join the show. And they're all hitting us back saying they want to come on. So we want to give them, time to come on and interact with them. So, I know that Sean and Tony normally go on Thursday, but we might just turn it into a all-out Buckeye Boyz show and try to get a couple guests on for that, and maybe go Friday. And who knows, man? So we'll see. But here we are.
We need to discuss something for Sunday, because Sunday down here, Dev, they're having a pep rally right across from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a Buckeye pep rally that me and some of my friends are going to. I might, if it's like jumping, I might want to hop on the live and show the people what's going on in Atlanta.
Yeah, we need to see that too, for sure. Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Tiara, Mark,
Aunt Chris, Emily.
Ryan Days Beard, Daryl, Emily, what up? Bucks Forever 65. Vader,
Mika.
What up, Vader? Kenneth, Mika, how you doing? Andre Green, Tyler, there's Mello, Mr. Ohio. Let's see. Lunatic friend Steve. Let's see who else is in here. I'm sure
Andre.
C-Dub, Drink. I'm sure we'll have more people join. I think Scoop's still going on over there. So, well, speaking of special guest, Tate is in the building. Ohio Tate, I know you can hear me. I'll let you on. We're about to bring you up. We live right now, man. So just get ready. Here we go. What's up, brother?
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me tonight.
Thanks for coming on. You're a legend, bro.
Yeah.
A legend. I share all your stuff, bro.
Listen, I appreciate that, but I got a DM. It's like, hey, you want to come talk Buckeyes? I said, if we make the natty, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We made the natty, so.
Here we are. That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, Buckeye Nation, we're here, man. We are here. We've been through so many ups and downs all season long. We went into Oregon thinking we were going to win. We didn't. We played our 6-5 rival. We thought it was going to be a blowout. It wasn't. A lot of people gave up on the team. Hey, I don't even want to play in the playoffs anymore. Get rid of Day. Will Howard sucks. The whole 9 yards. We're playing for a freaking natty, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for you, too. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest. When we lost to Michigan, I went to the game. I was sad. For about 24 hours, I was in that group where it's like, can you really play for a title if you can't beat a 6-5 Michigan team? How did you guys did you guys give up on them, or are you guys like from the day we lost to Michigan, you were like, we're still going full on?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Mello. You got it.
Oh, truthfully, at first I was like, man, I don't know if they could do it. It's in his head, and I thought it was just the team up north. I thought the whole time, I never wavered. I thought we were still going to win the Natty, but I thought the team up north, there's something about it. He has a mental block in that game, but I knew like once we got to the playoffs, it was going to be a whole nother ball game.
Yes. So for me, man, for 24 hours, I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't come on here and do a live stream. I didn't post anything on message boards because I was running all that stuff through my head. I went through that back and forth asking myself, yo, dude, this is bad. You know what I mean? Is Ryan Day the dude? Or is he going to be capable of changing from this? Is he going to grow from this? But then what I went back to is the Oregon game. And the way our defense changed, and that kind of started giving me hope. And then I also went back to these players. After 24 hours, I got on here, I started talking. I didn't talk about having faith in the coaches. I didn't talk about that at all. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day. I just let that be what it was. I had faith in these players, in these leaders, and these players that came back. They didn't go to the NFL. They came here. The Caleb Downs, the Jeremiah Smith, the leadership on this team, Will Howard's leadership. That's what I fell back on, and I totally believed in them to get this team back up and running, and that's what they've done, man.
No, I agree. I just know there's a bunch of Michigan fans out there, my boss being one of them, that are loving to dig up the receipts from, 4 p.m., on Saturday, November 30th. I think that's totally fine for an Ohio State fan to have spent some time being upset that we lost to our rival in a game. We were 3 touchdown favorites. Now, don't try and tell us that any of us are off the bandwagon. We're going to win this game, boys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm down here in Atlanta right now, to be honest, just outside of Atlanta. So there's a lot of Buckeyes down here. There's a lot of kids that love Ohio State, like that we're after. Deuce Gerald's, that whole school, all they talk about is Ohio State and Jordan Hancock. A lot of these parents have played, their kids, older kids have played with Jordan Hancock down here, or Caleb Downs, and they're like, no, Ohio State, that's the spot to be. And there's a lot of spots down here that's like that. Kids know, but they also, you have your UGA fans that talk a lot of smack.
Mello, make sure you do your part then. If you're going to be our Atlanta representative, make sure that we're getting our dudes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm on them, man. Seriously, I really am. I'm right by Grayson High School where Tyler Atkinson's at, and to me, he's the best linebacker I've ever seen in my life out of high school.
All right, I'm holding you accountable on that.
Absolutely.
Hey, the truth about it is those emotions everybody went through. That's why we love college football, right? Because we go through those ups and downs, and let's not act like Scum didn't have some receipts we can pull up of their season. I mean, good Lord, their season was absolute trash. Yeah, congratulations, you beat us, but we're playing for a natty. So let's not act like Ohio State is the only fan base that went through a rough spell and spoke up on their emotions. Everybody's a human being. We're going to have emotions. Some choose to not speak about it. Some do. Some choose to lie about them and act like they thought everything was going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just college football, man. That's why I love it. That's why I'm addicted to it. That's why I love the Buckeyes, man. But either way, you can focus on the past if you want. But the truth is, man, we're about to go play a natty game where we are favored by, 10 points, then 9.5. Now I saw 8.5. Either way, yeah, it's over a touchdown. And I want to ask you this, Tate, real fast. Not that, like I said, we're a fan base, so we're allowed to have big heads. We're allowed to be overconfident. We're allowed to do that stuff. The team's not going to be that way at all because they haven't won anything. They haven't done it. They haven't done anything. So I'm not worried about the team doing that. But if you were to pick a team, Notre Dame, Penn State, Tennessee, Texas, Oregon, which one would be your easiest pick to play in the Natty? Which one would you want to play?
If we had to play a team in the Natty, who would I want to play?
Yep.
Yeah, out of those teams.
Out of those 5 teams. If you would have asked me before the playoff, I would have said Notre Dame. So I'm glad that that's who we're playing. However, hindsight's 20/20. I don't really know how good of a team Tennessee was because our boys played with a chip on their shoulder. They played like they had something to prove, and they played like, hey, we're going to be a national embarrassment if we don't come out and defend our home field. We made them look terrible.
Yeah.
So looking back on it, I don't know. If we were getting ready for Tennessee in the college football playoff, I'd be excited. But of all the teams we've faced, I think that Notre Dame, now they're well coached. They're not going to beat themselves. They have a good secondary, but I think we're going to match up very well with them. And you can't ask for a better national championship game than a team that you're favored by at least 8.5 against.
Yeah. So do you feel that they're going to switch up their defense and go to zone like Texas, or are they going to play man? Because I feel like if they play man, the game's over at halftime.
You tell me. So Freeman has to decide. So they play the most man out of any team in the country. Am I correct with that?
You are.
And teams have played Will Howard zone 80% of the time.
Right.
As you're saying, the question is, are they going to switch what they do to play us? I think they should if they want to win. But what does that tell your guys? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if it's like, hey, all year we trust you to man up one-on-one against the guy across from you. Until we play Ohio State, then you're not good enough to do it. I don't know what he's going to do. Some coaches have too much pride in changing, the way that they should play to win a game. I don't know what Freeman's going to do, but I can tell you this. Manning up our receivers with the way Will Howard's throwing the ball is not the way to beat the Buckeyes.
No, and if you would have asked me yesterday, I would have said that they're going to change and they're going to play zone. But then my mind started switching to exactly what you brought up. What does that tell your guys? What got them here? And I know it depends on what offense you're playing, the players that you're playing, the scheme that you're playing, all that. But they are predominantly a man defense. So honestly, if I had to put money on it, I'm putting money on it. They're going to come out and they're going to play defense like they've been playing defense that got them here. Because if they switch that up, I just don't know how the vibe is going to go on defense and stuff. If the coaches come out and have a big old meeting saying, hey, guys, I know we're really good at man. That's what we're good at. But we can't cover these guys in man. We're going to have to go to zone. But it's a hard one, though, because then it's like, or can you just swallow your pride and admit that, hey, we can't cover J.J. Smith man on man?
AKA Optimus Prime. So we call him Optimus Prime around here because, to me, I've been watching him since high school. And he reminds me more of Megatron, Calvin Johnson, how he just big dogs the DBs.
Yep.
So since he's already Megatron, he's also a Transformer. So I call him Optimus Prime, by the way. So if you hear me say Optimus Prime, that's who I'm referring to.
That's fair enough. But Melo, no, I agree. I think that's the question of the game is what you ask. Like, what are they going to do? Because if they are dead set on one or the other, it doesn't work from the beginning. I think they're spiraling. I'm so interested in the cat and mouse game. Like, are they going to come out and say, we are playing man? Well, if we beat them, I mean, that's right away being like, all right, well, your game plan ain't going to work. But if they come out and play zone and it doesn't work, now their guys are in their head because it's like, hey, we're a man team. Coach didn't trust in us. It still ain't working. So I don't know. I'm over optimistic. Dev, you said it well. Like, fans can be overly optimistic. I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win by a lot.
Yeah, I do too. We hit on their defensive, our offensive side. We already know our offensive side of the ball, just talent everywhere, all over the field. First round draft picks, NFL players everywhere. So we kind of know the game plan there. You're gonna look for a game plan of a Tennessee, Oregon type of vibe. Texas got us playing their game plan. That's not what we wanted to do, but we did it. So we're going to come out and try Tennessee and Oregon. But on the other side of the ball, our defense is arguably one of the best defenses that's played in college football or at Ohio State. I don't know where you're at with that, Tate, but I mean, the way they're playing right now. So now the next question is, Riley Leonard cannot throw the ball down the field. What the heck are they going to do if they're going to rely on the rushing game? And I mean, Riley Leonard is not like as fast as a Dylan Gabriel, you know what I mean? Or even the Tennessee quarterback. And we've already faced them. We faced, the Tennessee quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, and we handled him correctly. You know what I'm saying? So what are they going to do on offense? What's their hope?
So Notre Dame has to run the ball well to win. And again, that's why I'm so optimistic about this game is because you just don't run the ball against this Ohio State team. You just don't. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to find a way to keep this game below 20. And I still don't even know if their defense can do that. Like, if we get to 24 points, I just don't see a path for Notre Dame to win. They have to run the ball. My guess is that they're going to utilize Leonard's legs more than, probably more than any team we've seen this year, where they're going to try and use that extra blocker, run the quarterback a lot. But again, it's what we just said on the other side of the ball. If that's their game plan, and we can stop that, like if they come out and they run Leonard and they try and run Jeremiah Love or whatever they do, and we stop that, and then we make them pass the ball. It's curtains. If we can make them have to throw the ball because they can't run, and then we get up on them, and then they have to throw it even more. The path to victory, and I'll look silly if we lose this game because I'm so confident. But our path, I think everything they want to do, we have an answer for. They want to play man, we have the best receivers in the country. They want to run the ball, we have the best run defense in the country. So I just love this matchup.
Yeah, you know what? My thing is, if you run Riley Leonard a lot, we already saw him almost have a concussion the last game. If Lathan Ransom comes up, who I believe is the hardest hitting safety in America, he took out the running back from Oregon, took out the running back from Tennessee. He took out Arch Manning when he hit him in the back and concussed him from hitting him in the back. So if Riley Leonard goes out the game, what's Notre Dame's game plan at that point?
That's a great point, because obviously we don't want to wish injury on anyone. But what you're saying is that if they're going to rely heavily on running the quarterback, that's a one-trick, like that's what you need to be able to do. And if that's the game plan and that doesn't work, what's gonna be the plan if he can't do it or if he can't play?
Right. Yeah, and we already know that they're struggling with a lot of injuries. So yesterday on the show, I gave a shout out to Mick and our training staff and all our medical personnel on the team, because I know we lost 2 offensive linemen, but look at how healthy this Ohio State team is coming in this game. Now,
knock on wood, Dev. Knock on wood.
I know. I got it right here, bro. I got it right here. It's a wooden desk. We're cool. We're cool. So anyway, I'm going to move on from that since you just said that. And I want to talk about the fact that we have given up, I think the first game was 53 rushing yards. Mm-hmm. The second game was negative 26 rushing yards. Negative 26. Against the number one team in the nation. Yeah, me and Melo were at that game.
You guys went to the Rose Bowl?
Yeah. I've been
We went with Kenyatta Jackson Jr.'s dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way to bring it home, boys.
Yeah, I went to that game. I went to the Cotton Bowl. I'm going to the Natty too, so I'm riding this thing all the way out. But anyway, and then we gave up 57 yards to Texas or something like that. So speaking of Notre Dame and having to rush the ball, I mean, good God, dude. Look what we just did to these teams that, Tennessee, the best rusher in the nation. We took him out the game. Oregon. Yeah, it's wild. So again, Tate, I think all of Ohio State fans are going to look stupid if we lose this game, because even if I switch my mindset and try to think of a way that we can lose, now the only where my mind goes is back to, we all know where the mind goes.
That's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
There's only one type of game that this team can win or that we can lose, and that's 13-10. Where they control the time of possession, they limit our possessions. But I just feel like from being at that game, and Melo said it off the top, like it was as much mental as it was anything that was going on for Michigan. But it was also freezing cold outside. We're going to be playing down there in Georgia indoors. Our receivers are going to be a little bit faster. Our running backs are going to be a little bit faster. We're going to have a little bit better footing. I just can't see this national championship game with explosive as an offense and as many playmakers we have, we're not going to lose 13-10 in this game. And that's how they have to beat us.
Yeah, and
my question to both of you guys, because I don't see them, honestly, I don't see Notre Dame getting past 13 points on our defense. But my question to both of you, do you think Ohio State would take the foot off the gas seeing how Marcus Freeman is a legend and not wanting to embarrass him? Or do they go for the kill shot for recruiting purposes?
Dev, go first.
Well, I think when you watch the Oregon game, we took our foot off the gas. We took our foot off a very cocky team that already beat us and took their shots and took their things. So I think smart football is played, and I don't think that, if we get a lead like that, I think we're going to focus on winning the game, and I think that this coaching staff has a history. Ryan Day has a history of getting that lead, and sometimes he gets a little bit too scared too soon and takes his foot off the gas and shrinks back down. And so I don't see that happening. I don't see him trying to blow the absolute doors off this. But it is the Natty game. Mm-hmm. It is the some of these players' last game, so they might have some say in that. But I don't really know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's you could weigh either option. I do think that we respect Freeman. We're friend of the Freeman. He's a friend of the program. He played in the program. He also recruits for a team that we go up against in recruiting.
Right.
Yeah.
And also we have to weigh the balance of, and I feel, you guys got to delete this show if we lose, because I feel like I was talking about the Michigan game before. It's like, how much are we going to beat them by? We have the opportunity to give a big old middle finger to the whole world that was talking trash about us. And Day's got to say we're up 20 points in the fourth quarter. Do you try and go down and score? Or do you try and not? So it'll be interesting. I don't think we'll do anything disrespectful, but I also think that if we can put an exclamation point on this season and get some more frustration out, I think we will.
Yeah. So the thing that I always talked about that separates this team, and I know we're running out of time here, Tate, so we're wrapping it up here. But the thing that's different about this Ohio State team than I think any other team is, number one, look at the pressure that Ohio State has every year, not from just Ohio State fans, but from national media. All that's been talked about is the $20 million roster that probably ranks 5th in the nation.
Thank you.
On rosters, right? So Notre Dame's paid more, Texas paid more, Oregon paid more, Ole Miss probably paid. Like, dude, it's wild. That so the pressure that we had, and then the way we lost that game in Oregon was absolutely hard. I was at that game. It was heartbreaking, man. The way Will Howard, I think he slid down in time, the pass interference call, the whole 9 yards. It was just an absolute heartbreak. It was worse than losing the game by 14 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was a heartbreak. And then the rival game. So my point behind that is that this team has already been in hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had their fan base, most of their fan base turn on them. They had to have a team meeting where everybody got together and got their emotions out. Like, this team has been through the fire. So that's what gives me a lot of confidence that we're not going to see a repeat of the game we all think about and the game that scares us. That's where my confidence comes from there. And then the other thing is people bringing up the fact that, you know, mainly scum fans bringing up, hey, we're going to be national champs with 2 losses. That's pathetic, right? But look at the run this Ohio State team has been on. Like, compare, and now I know this is the first 12-team playoff. Not other teams have had this opportunity, but still, we can't help that. This is what was laid in front of our feet. Is there a run in college football that can even come close to matching this? Haven't we already tied the record of the most top 5 wins in a season?
LSU. 2019 LSU.
Yeah, and we win this game, and we have that record. So this run, I mean, dominated the SEC, smashed them in the ground, beat the Big Ten champs, you know what I'm saying, beat Indiana, Penn State, so we would have beaten how many of the 12 teams? 7 of the top 12 teams. Crazy. You know, so, like, I don't look at those 2 losses. I look at the run this team has went on, and it's going to be just dynastic, dude.
Yeah, trying to pick apart a national champion is not fair and not correct to do. I mean, you could point back to national champions and be like, oh, well, you guys didn't decide it on the field. You decided in the newspaper. You decided on the poll. End of the day, you claim a national championship because you're the national champion. So if we go through, Indiana and Penn State in the regular season, then we have Tennessee with our backs against the wall. We go out to the West Coast and beat the number 1 team in the country. We go to Dallas and beat Texas. We could have gone to Georgia and beat Georgia if they would have made it. Instead, we got to go play Notre Dame. I think they'll try and get their shots in, as the clock strikes 0 and be like, this is your national champions. You go through this run, you're national champions.
Yeah, that's my final question to you.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of people saying that the game is more important than than winning a natty. And if you win a natty but you lose the game, it doesn't matter. And I hear it from our own fan base as well, not just the other side. What is your thoughts and opinions on it?
And you guys can disagree with me. You can chirp me. I won't be offended. Obviously, I want to win the national championship. And the fact that we lost to Michigan, I do think sours our national championship a little bit to compare to what it could be. I think that's fair to say. If we would have won the Michigan game and then went on this run, I think that we would be rubbing Michigan's face in it every single day. And that's the rivalry that I grew up in. So I don't think it's fair to say that the Michigan game, especially now in the 12-team playoff where you can still get in, it's tough to say that it's more important than a natty on a grand scale of things. But to me, living in Columbus, Ohio, I would take losing to Michigan harder than losing a national championship. If that answers a little.
Which one would you celebrate more? So if you if you could win, say, the next 5 years, we win 2 natties, but we lose 3 times to the team up north. Would you take those odds, or would you rather just win this 1 natty and win the rest of the team up north games?
It's a really, really tough question. I'm choosing beating Michigan.
Now, see, that's the thing that I love.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to be mad. You can hate that. I don't mind. I just know that losing to them 4 times in a row, and you guys know how it was before that. We had won, 15 or 16 or whatever. There's nothing better than walking down the street. You know, I'm in Chicago now, and they got their Michigan gear. I got my Ohio State gear, and we're walking. Right now, they look at you. There used to be a time where they had to look away. And I just love the rivalry. I think losing in the natty or winning a natty, obviously great joy, big sadness. I love the end of November more than anything for that rivalry game.
That's another reason why I love college football, right? It's because I think a lot of people are focusing on the difference in in 2 sections of the Ohio State fan base. Mm-hmm. Like I get that. Like, I don't agree with that. I picked the natty. Like, a lot of people say that if Day loses to Michigan the next 5 years, but wins 3 natties, he still has to go. I don't agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But
I agree with you there.
Yeah. But I will say that that's the beauty about college football, man. You can root for your team however you want. If you choose to put more value into the scum game, the rivalry game, then amen. If I choose to put more value in the natty team, amen. Guess what's still the same? We're still both rooting for the Buckeyes.
Let me spin that. Let me flip that back on you, Melo. I got a question. Do you think it matters that Day? Does the answer to that question you're asking me change if Day wasn't 0-4 in the last 4? Like if he had won 3 in a row but lost this year, I would be here in front of you being like, whatever, dude. We've dominated the rivalry. We're still going to win the natty. I think there's a part of me that really gets eaten up that they are dominating the rivalry right now.
Yeah, especially, this year was the toughest one. They should not have won it in any way, shape, or form. We did a marathon, a live stream marathon the day before, and we had Team Up North podcasters come on. And they were like, yeah, you guys are going to win. And we were just like tooting our horn. We were making all these graphics, and we lost. I left the bar. There's a Buckeye bar down here. I left the bar and forgot to pay my tab. I was so angry before the game even ended. So my friends were stuck with $170 tab. They paid it for me. But I was that angry. But for me, I feel like living in Georgia, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
For me, the natty is more important because I can go to any space and talk trash. Every time I go to the gym, I wear my Ohio State gear, and all they say is 42-41, 42-41. So it's aggravating. But how much of your feelings are because of who your boss is and how his arrogance is towards the rivalry?
Listen, part of it, people always ask me that, especially within the company. It's like, would you care as much about the Michigan game if Dave wasn't my boss? That factors in for sure. I also, as Dev said, there's different sections within the fan base.
Yeah.
I grew up in Northeast Ohio. I then went to Ohio State, and I lived there for 12 years. The way my grandpa taught my dad, who taught me, was that, the next 365 days are not fun if you don't win that Michigan game. And there's people that are online saying, screw those people that say that. And there's people that are saying, screw those people that say the natty's more important. I think it's fine to say either. But for me, I can't have too much fun if we still have a loss on our record until we beat them again.
Now, I got to bring this up just because you've said that we've lost the past 3 years. They did cheat. They did get caught in a pretty darn big skeeting channel. Now, I'll say that it still hurts because we saw the on-field results, even if I know they cheated and I can say out loud, hey, they cheated. I don't even count those 3 years. Yeah. I can say that as much as I want. It still sucks. I still think we should have beat them. I don't give a dang if they got the plays or whatever. I think we still should have went and freaking beat them. You know what I'm saying? So there's that aspect of it that makes this whole conversation we're having just such an intriguing conversation.
Why we needed to beat them this year. The thing
I know.
That if we would have beat them this year, I would be the number one person on social media reminding them that if you can't cheat, you can't beat us.
Yeah.
But now I can't even, you can't, I think Dave, and I disagree with Dave on just about everything he says. I do think he said one thing very well recently. and that is Ohio State winning the Natty, but Michigan winning the rivalry right now only makes it even more fierce. Like, we're on top of the college football world, but Michigan's on top of us. But we're on top of the college football world, but they beat us 4 straight times. So it's not good for us that they're beating us. It's not good for them but man, we are both on top of something really important right now. I think next year is going to be fucking electric again.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for the rivalry.
Yeah.
It's perfect for it. You know what I mean? For that to happen. But all right, Tate, we know we're running out of time here. So if you could do me a favor, give me a prediction on an offensive MVP and a defensive MVP, and throw your score prediction in if you want. If you don't want to, you do it at a different time. Do your thing.
Yep. All right. So I would put a lot of money on Jack Sawyer being the defensive MVP, deserved or not, because of everything he's gone through and because of the last game. I do think he's going to come out ready to go, probably get a sack. But unless someone balls out, I think Jack Sawyer will be your defensive MVP. Offensive MVP, I would say that I think we're going to be able to run. It all goes back to Melo's question. Are they manning us up? If they're manning us up, Jeremiah Smith's your offensive MVP. If they're not manning us up, I think their pass defense is good. Our run offense can run on them. I think Travion will have a big game. Final score, I'm debating in my head right now. The game's either going to go one of two ways. They're going to keep it close, but we're just going to wear on them and make a couple big plays, and we're going to win like 27-14 in the end. Or what I'm leaning towards is that we come out and we punch them in the mouth, and they have to play from behind, and they can't. And then we punch them in the mouth, and they can't, and they can't. Let's go 38-7 Buckeyes.
Okay.
Are you guys predicting, or are you waiting for later in the week?
Now, I got my prediction ready, dude. I'm going 35-10.
Okay.
And I think there's a chance. There's just part of me, might be Homer or whatever, but I think there's a chance for a freaking shutout this game. I think there's a chance for 0 freaking points, dude. So I've went back and forth on that. I just have. But like I said, everything we've talked about, that's why my score prediction is that. I'm just predicting that everything works out the way that Ohio State has built this up to. These seniors, this class, they've won nothing. They've all said it in their interviews. They do not give a dang that they beat Tennessee, Oregon, or Texas. Us Ohio State fans, we care a bunch. They could care less. They don't give a dang. They're not going to, if they go lose this game, they're not going to be like, well, yeah, but we beat Texas, Oregon, and Tennessee. Nah, bro, they're going to be like, we failed. We failed with our time here at Ohio State. So I think this team comes out freaking jacked to the gills and potentially locks down Notre Dame and doesn't let them score a damn
give me a score.
point.
I'm going 45-13. I think they score a touchdown and they have an elite kicker. So I think they get 2 field goals. My offensive MVP is Optimus Prime. I think he's angry. And they're about to feel the wrath, and I think they're going to think that we covered Marvin Harrison last year. We're going to be able to cover JJ, 2 different animals. Okay. And then defensively, I'm going with Caleb Downs.
Nice.
The light-skinned Ed Reed. That's what I call him.
Hey, Tate.
Right,
Tate, we appreciate the heck out of you coming on here, man.
All right, good show, boys. Go Bucks.
Yeah. OH.
I-O.
Yeah, I-O. That was fun, bro.
Yeah. He has good energy. I liked it.
Yeah, he told me he was in a bit of a hurry. He told me he only had 10 or 15 minutes. We went for like 25, so I knew he was late for something.
I saw him looking at his watch.
I know. Yeah, he didn't even let me finish. He said, "Mello, give me your score." This dude's in a hurry. Yep. But no, we appreciate him coming on here for sure. That was freaking awesome. But yeah, man, I want to go back and touch on something a little bit deeper, and that's on the fact. I want to ask you, and I want to ask the chat this question. If Ryan Day wins the next 3 natties, including this one, but loses to our rival the next 3 years, do you want him fired? Now, we can change those numbers around all you want. I think you guys are getting the gist of my question. You get the gist of my question.
For me, natties trump the game. And I understand what Tate is saying. I know he grew up in Columbus. I've grown up just loving Ohio State since '94. That's when I went to the shoe, and my aunt had graduated from there, and I just fell in love. I was awestruck with the shoe, honestly, for graduation. So I've been a fan since then. the first memories I have is when Orlando Pace and Eddie George, that team was there. So, like, I love the Buckeyes through and through. My whole family's from Ohio. I'm the first one not from Ohio that's from Jersey. But for me, Natty's trump all because, A, I'm on YouTube a lot, as you guys know. So I can go to any chat, and I got the big joker. If we're playing spades, I got big joker. I trump everything. I go in the team up north. Yeah, you talking about you beat us, but you don't have any trophies or anything to show for that. I'm going to show these recruits, these natties that they're winning and the TV ratings that we're drawing and how you're going to make more money here and go to the league and play better. And we're going to keep winning natties. So, like, for me, it's natties over everything.
Yeah.
Joker.
I think Chuck hit the nail on the head with we will want him fired every November and then we'll love him again in January. You're darn right about that, buddy.
100%. You know what? That's the most real statement ever.
Yeah,
because
100%.
That really is how it is.
And I like this too. They don't hang banners for rivalries. They don't have merch for rivalries. I don't know. Uh-oh.
What happened?
I thought I exited the whole show, but luckily we didn't.
No, you're good.
Hey, listen, everybody. I'm just asking a question. I got Aunt Chris in here saying, don't say that. Miki saying, don't speak that. I'm asking a freaking question, man. Golly, dude. Everybody getting all emotional tonight.
This is great, Jack. You have to answer this.
I'm knocking on wood. I'm knocking on wood. So for me, man, I'm going to say the same thing again, dude. I care about the rivalry a lot. Like a lot, man. It ruined my week, dude. I'm telling you, I was depressed. It sucks, dude. It's in my blood to just smash them. You see this channel. Look how many videos we made before the game. Like, I invested money. I bought a scum shirt and burnt it and videoed it. Yeah. I care about the rivalry game. But I just want a natty more. And so does the hanging the banners for the national title. And here's a statement that a lot of people aren't going to like. I know a lot of people don't want it to be true. I understand that. But it is true that the regular season and stuff, it's not a do or die game anymore. Like, the proof's in the pudding this year. College football has changed. Now, for the better or for the worse, we can argue that later. But us arguing it doesn't change the fact that college football has changed. The regular season rivalry game, shoot, even the Big Ten championship means way, way, way less in perspective of the grand scheme of college football. It just means a little bit less. Now, for us Ohio State fans, it might not. But in terms of going and winning a natty, it doesn't matter. We can go lose to them and still go win the natty. I just want everybody to keep one thing in mind. Please don't get divided if another Ohio State fan has another opinion. They're allowed to have that opinion. That's okay. We're still both Buckeyes. We still both want the Buckeyes to win. You don't have to dislike a person because they choose the rivalry over a natty. That's fine. You can think that they're not very smart. You don't agree with the whole 9 yards, but the truth still remains that both those fans, the one that wants the rivalry and the one that wants the natty, they meet somewhere, and where they meet is they are freaking Buckeyes, dude. They want Ohio State to win.
Absolutely. You want to take that one?
Yeah, thanks, Bobby Mack, for the $2, man. Love the rivalry, but I'll take natty all day. Yep, 100% agree with you. He said, let me ask this. Michigan fans acting all this way, but how would they act if they lost to us and won a natty? Just like us. I mean, just like us, dude. That's essentially, well, no, then because their natty's getting stripped too. By the way, breaking news here on Buckeye Boyz. The sources we have here at Buckeye Boyz, which is mainly me and Mello having conversations and what we think and what we know. Their natty's stripped. Their Big Ten titles are stripped. Games are all that stuff is not gone. It's not dead. Some time has passed and people may have forgot about it. The NCAA hasn't. I said yesterday, if you have a warrant out for your arrest and 5 years go by and you get pulled over, you're still getting arrested. They're not going to just turn you loose. That would be great, but they're just not going to do that.
Hey, he wants to know if you're turning 45.
44. I'll be 44 years old tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he'll be 34.
Hey, chat, I got to ask this. How old do I look over the camera? Be honest. Now, you know my age. I'm turning 34, but how old do I look? I've been told I look older. I've been told I look younger. If I shave the beard, I feel like I look way younger, which I almost did because I screwed it up over here on the side.
So this is my thing to that question that we were just asking while you're talking about that, and we're waiting for their answers. Either side of the fan base and the argument is really easy. We're going to spin it to work to our advantage regardless. If it's Ohio State and I'm an Ohio State fan, I'm going to spin it so it works to my advantage. But I'm going to try to use some kind of logic, stats, and data to support why I feel that way. That's the difference between the Team Up North fans. They just use emotion, and you have certain people that are illogical in their statements that make zero sense. But they try to do the same thing.
Nice. I appreciate you, Emily, TG, Steely. Buck 64 said I look 44 to him. Golly, bro. Craig said not a day over 44. Thanks, my dude. Vader said 35. Okay. I can't be Dev's
what
44th mom. Yeah, what? 34 fits you. Happy birthday. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I don't know. I would say at the age of like 19 is like the last time that I have like celebrated my birthday, like got people together and had like a thing. Now, that's because I made some dumb decisions in life, but I don't know. I don't even think of I'm going this weekend and hanging out with Angie in Gainesville for a couple of days. So I'll be driving right from Gainesville right to the Natty game. So that's going to be my birthday present.
My question to you, I know this is off topic completely, but what is there to do in Gainesville? I'm seriously wondering. I always wanted to know.
Quite a bit. I mean, so just my opinion. So I like to go hiking and stuff. There's a lot of hiking trails there, believe it or not. I didn't think that either. There's a lot of hiking trails there, a lot of really good restaurants. Actually, Steve Spurrier, the old coach for there, he has a couple restaurants. He started a restaurant there, and I'm obsessed with it. I love going there. Dude, you can go there for the breakfast and order this breakfast bar for like $20. And I'm telling you, they have every breakfast food you can possibly think of at like the highest quality. So we're going to go out dancing Saturday night to some Latina dancing place. She's Latina and she thinks...
You could salsa and merengue?
No, hell no. But I'm going to try. I'm going to freaking try, dude. I've done it before. I got into it for a minute because she wanted me to start taking these classes one time. So I'd be in my room practicing and stuff. But nah, man, I'm your typical white boy. Imagine a white boy dancing in a club. Just put my face on him. That's me. That's me dancing.
Fact, I thought you were Hispanic when I first met you.
I know you did.
I really did. And then somebody was like, "You mean the white kid that's your partner?" I'm like, "He's not white. He's Hispanic." You don't know. I swear, I thought you were Hispanic.
That's hilarious, bro.
Can you get Gator there?
I'm
always looking for Gator, bro.
Yeah, get some Gator bites. Oh, bro. Well, I'll get us some. I'll go catch us a gator. I'll go put some lines out. I know I owe Drink some gator bites. He asks me all the time for gator bites. So, shoot, I caught one in my front yard like 6 months ago. Caught it, jumped on its back, wrapped some tape around its mouth, and
only Florida and only Dev.
I actually was driving down the road, and it ran in front of the car, and I slammed it in park, jumped out, grabbed it, hopped in the bed, and made my brother drive home. So, it was a good time. But, so, this game, I don't know. There's a very small part of me that is a little nervous because of the physicality of Notre Dame and the fact that Texas was able to slow us down and make us play their style of football. But that was Texas. I mean, they have way better players than Notre Dame, if you ask me. Notre Dame is littered with injuries. And like I said, Ohio State is the only team that can beat Ohio State. And let's be honest, they just almost did that in the Texas game. They're not going to do it twice. They just got woken up from that. Like, that Texas game should not have been that close. It just shouldn't have. And if you're a Texas fan or whatever, you can say what you want. It shouldn't have been that close, if you ask me. Now, I know it was. I know it was a 14-point game, which is kind of a big, but it was a one-possession game. It really wasn't.
My question to you, Dev, I know you said we played their style of game. Do you believe we played their style of game, or do you believe we killed our momentum with so many self-inflicted wounds and penalties?
Both. I think both for sure. I think the aspect that they took Jeremiah Smith out of the game was where they kind of forced our hand to play more the style they wanted us to play, even though Carnell Tate and Emeka Buka and our tight ends were still wide open down the field a lot of the times, and we utilized that. But more than I believe they made us play their style, we penalized ourselves and did stupid things, and the play calling was not the sharpest. I mean, we're 3rd and 1, and we average 4 yards a carry on the QB sneak, and we're going to do a Sarkisian and try to be 3rd and 1 on the goal line and pitch the ball 10 yards backwards and instantly make it a 3rd and 11. Like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you doing that? We got 3rd and 1. Don't make it 3rd and 11. Let's just go for the 1. Let's not try to get 11, right? So, I just think.
I was watching some of the film breakdown, right? I didn't get to complete it, but I saw at least 5 different times Optimus Prime was open in the zone coverage.
Yeah.
Now, what I noticed was he wasn't the first read on any of those plays. I wonder if Chip was like, we're going to use everybody else, and hopefully it will open him up down later in the game. But I think if he's the first read in a lot of those plays, he would have had more than one catch.
Yeah, 100%. I think that got specifically talked about at halftime and even before the game that, hey, man, let's look for Tate and Emeka before JJ because they're just going to be covering him. I will tell you that on every single rollout play that I saw where they moved the pocket, JJ Smith was open. Everyone that I remember watching, he was like wide open, and Howard chose to like check it down more than he did throw it downfield to him. He was wide open in the middle of the field. I also think that because we just experienced that even if Notre Dame does try that, we're ready for it. There's going to be some creative ways to get the ball in J.J. Smith's hand. The sweep on the play, the first touchdown on Oregon, I think we tried that one time. Like, there's ways to get the ball in his hand. I mean, shoot, line the dude up as a tight end. You know what I'm saying? Freaking get him the ball, bro. Get him the ball. So I think J.J. Smith is going to be more involved in this game no matter what. So
I'm lining him up as running back, send him on the wheel route.
Yes, sir.
Get a linebacker
I'm
covering
saying,
him.
bro. Yeah. Hey, and I guess I did a lot of reading, and I guess Will Howard had his knee and his ankle taped up before that game, which is why we didn't use him running the ball that much. The Texas game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That he had his ankle and his knee wrapped. He's fine. Everybody relax. Everybody's playing JT's playing. Did Zell Burks playing? As far as we know, there's been no information put out that anybody is injured like that. So, did I see in the chat that Damon Wilson signed at Missouri? Did somebody put that in?
Too.
I think Emily put that in there. Is that a fact for sure, written in stone already? I'm fine. I don't really.
I believe it. Em put it in there as a fact. She's on top of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned with that. The only thing I'm concerned with is I want one more tackle. I want another tackle. I want another depth piece or something. We lost 3 in the transfer portal. We only signed 2, and we were already short on tackle. Now, I know we got one of the Armstrong brothers, and then who's the other right tackle, backup right tackle right now?
We got K-Mac, we got Edric Houston, we got...
No.
Oh, you're talking about
offensive tackle. Yeah,
my fault.
Offensive tackle.
So we got...
who's the young...
Harris Johnson's cousin from Minnesota, and then we got...
I know the transfers.
The African guy's name.
I know the transfers. I'm talking about the guy that's on the team from Indiana. Really good. I think he's a sophomore this year.
Ian Moore.
Yeah. We got Ian Moore. We got one of the Armstrong brothers. We got Carter Lowe coming in. We got Javon McFadden if he's a tackle. Who knows?
I think he's going to play guard. Oh, well, he said they told him tackle, but I think he's a guard.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yeah, so who would be our backup tackles? Let's just say the Minnesotas are right, and Ethan Aniwana or whatever is the left tackle. Then you got Ian Moore backing up the Minnesota on right tackle. I'm confident there. Who's our backup left tackle? Luke Montgomery?
Yeah, I think you start Luke in the guard position and you use him like Donnie. If something happens to one of the tackles, you kick him out.
Yeah.
And then you got one of the Armstrong twins as well.
I love that people are already talking about Ohio State next year, thinking we're gonna go out there and be 8-4.
P, your team has to live in the portal because you have no talent out there. You can't recruit. I mean, I'm not going to say you can't.
Yeah. Hey,
you can recruit.
We like Darius on this channel. He's all right. Darius is all right.
I love Darius too.
Yeah, he comes in here.
You're saying 8-4. We never had a record like that.
Nah, bro, it ain't.
We'll never.
It ain't happening.
We'll never be 8-4.
JJ Smith's going to get us to 10-2 on his own. So, I mean, chill out, dude. And we still got Caleb down. Bro, we're freaking.
And y'all going to be crying when Chris Henry comes here and Optimus is here and they're torching Trey McNutt and the kid from Bama that thinks he's the number 1 DB, but he's really the number 2 that flipped you guys for his shoe deal.
Stealing.
And I made sure to get a message to him because one of my boys was working at Under Armour camp and he sent me a video. Dev, I'll send it to you. But yeah, he got my message loud and clear.
See it, bro. Should we play the video on here? No.
Nah. We're not gonna play it on here.
I love it, man. But anyway, man. So props for due. Shout out Ryan Day, right, for getting this team together. And we know he didn't respond very well to the team meeting at first, but he came around. Shout out Chip Kelly. He's been tearing it up so far. We know we had a couple games, but it takes a while for an offensive coordinator to get to know these players, and there's a bunch of new players added into this system, so we're meshing up now. Justin Fry, well done, man, on the development side. I know we've been super hard on you, but, good job in the portal so far. But you still got to pick it up in recruiting, my dude. I figure that there's a game plan together, and we'll get our stuff together. Larry Johnson, old. Everybody wants him gone. Look at our defensive line. Like, you got to be joking me if you think that he's washed up or whatever. James Laurinaitis, what he's done with Cody Simon, Sonny Styles, and Arvell Reese this year. Watch the heck out. The dude's going to be a head coach one day. Carlos Lachlan. I mean, good Lord. Our running backs are just go back and watch.
Night and day, baby.
Oh, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. Matt Guerrieri, our safeties, Lathan Ransom, has taken a step up this year. Caleb Downs, Jordan Hancock, Coach Walt, same thing, dude. He took a lot of heat. He took a little bit of heat this year after the Oregon game and whatnot. He got these boys lined back up. He's got Jermaine Matthews playing like an absolute superstar. Got some of these younger guys some playing time. Who am I missing? Keenan Bailey. With our tight ends, very surprising this year, done exceptionally well. His recruiting is on point, goes out and gets his first targets every time, then picks up the number 1 tight end, Max Clare, in the transfer portal.
Coach G, the safeties coach, did you say
I said him. Jim Knowles, dude, I mean, please stay Jim Knowles. Please don't go take a head coach job.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Sparm already put it out there. He asked him off record, and Jim Knowles laughed. And he said, I'm not going to Oklahoma. Not going anywhere. He said, Berm said a lot of those newspapers, because they do want him back over there, and they said a lot of that. He said a lot of that is coming from the fact that he just got engaged to a woman that lives in Oklahoma. And you compare Columbus to Oklahoma. Where would you rather live? Let's be for real.
Yeah. I mean, I think Chip Kelly's staying. I think Jim Knowles is staying. Let's give Jim Knowles a raise. He's earned it. I mean, he's had the best defense in the nation 2 years in a row.
Yeah, he needs to be the highest paid DC in America.
Yeah, easily.
What I'm worried about is Hartline. We're going to have to up his pay. I don't really care. You might have to pay below a OC. I feel like we have the best coaching staff in the country, period. We have the best culture, 100%. That's not even debatable as far as I'm concerned. We have the best culture in the country, and that's the best thing that Day has done. And what else I love about Day is he'll identify a problem and he'll attempt to fix it. Even if it doesn't work, at least he's attempting. That's all you can ask a human being and a man to do. And it took him a while to receive the message from that players only meeting, but he received it, and you're seeing the results. We're about to win a natty, and I'm speaking it into existence because I truly believe that in my heart, and I believe what you put out into the universe in terms of energy is what you receive back, and they're about to win a natty. This team is on a mission. I believe that they're touched by God, and they're spreading that message, and it's getting out there. So you're starting to see more and more players and more teams doing the same. So it's clearly working. So natty season.
Yeah, so Brian Hartline's the only one I didn't mention for some odd reason, but we know Brian Hartline. He makes me a little nervous there because he's young. I
Big
mean,
nervous.
people are going to be after him. This is Ohio State. Let's do everything to keep this coaching staff together. But don't be surprised if you lose somebody, man. Unfortunately, that's college football. But this Ohio State, man, it's the Block O. It's not Ryan Day. It's not the players. It's not Chip Kelly, Jim Knowles. It's Ohio State. It's the Block O, man. We went through coaching changes. We went through player changes. And we're still the winningest college football team in the last 25 years.
Yep.
We've made the playoffs more than anyone. Yeah, more than any other football team.
Football players, we made them more than anybody.
I think we've made it 20 times, and Scum has made it 4 times. So congratulations on beating us this year. And you're 4, 2 of them you had to cheat to get in there. But anyway.
I just hope. My only hope is that truly, indeed, that Brian Hartline stays until Chris Henry leaves at the minimum, because I don't want us to miss the opportunity to watch Chris Henry on the outside and then Optimus on the outside. Like, you're not covering.
Yeah. I hope Hartline is learning from Chip Kelly. I hope he's beside him every single day, and Ryan Day. And a lot of people are talking about they want Brian Hartline to leave, go get some experience so he can come back and be an OC or something.
Well,
I'm fine with, I mean, Ryan Day used to be a play caller. He's an offensive mind. Let Brian Hartline learn from Chip Kelly for a couple years, and then when it comes time to find an OC, give him another shot, dude. I don't think he ever got his
real shot.
Yeah, he never got his opportunity. But we'll see what happens. But last final question, chat. I want you to answer this too. I know a lot of people. This is about next year because we've covered the Natty like crazy, and we're going to cover tomorrow again. So this is about next year. Do we want you, chat? Do you want Ewers or Julian Sayin to be the quarterback next year? There's a lot of smoke about Quinn Ewers coming to be a Buckeye. I haven't really done a lot of research on it yet. I just don't buy that smoke right now. That doesn't mean anything. That's just my opinion. That is not a educated hypothesis. That is an absolute guess. But I just don't buy it quite yet. But it's weird, man. I don't know how I feel about it, Mello, because Ewers didn't look good this year. But look at the steps Will Howard took. You bring a fifth-year senior in and get coached by Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. Quinn Ewers might look pretty good, but in the same sense, Julian Sayin, you start him, we could have him for the next 2 or 3 years, and he's a baller. We've been a lot invested in him. We got rid of, had some quarterbacks leave because of Julian Sayin in the room. So where are we at, chat, and where are you at, Mello?
So in terms of quarterback leaving, I don't know if it's just because of Julian Sayin. I think they have an inclination that Coach Day might be bringing in a transfer quarterback. I think that's why Lincoln answered the question the way he answered when they asked him if he's going to transfer, and he said he doesn't know. He wants to see what the quarterback situation looks like, meaning he wants to see if they're going to bring someone in or not. Obviously, Coach Day always wants 4 scholarship quarterbacks in the room. We only have 3 right now. So someone's coming regardless. That's just a given. In terms of people saying they don't want Ewers because he flaked on us, you have to understand Ewers' situation. His family needed the money. The only way to get the NIL bag was to reclass and come early because Texas didn't allow high school players to get NIL money, which to me is unconstitutional. You're at a working age. You should be able to make money. So he had to leave because in that contract to receive the rest of his money, he had to be a starter. He was not going to be starting over CJ. So that's the real reason he had to leave. I think he regrets it now because if you see, I don't care what anyone says, Day is the best quarterback developer in college football. I think if Ewers stayed, he wouldn't even have played this year. He would already be in the pros. And you saw what happened with Will Howard and how well his transformation was, and Ewers have way more talent than Will Howard in terms of just a passing quarterback. So I say that to say this. If Ewers ends up here, it's because he's the better option than Julian Sayin and whatever else we have in the room. And Dave feels like he could take him to the next level. So that's where I'm at with it. So if Ewers here, stay on board, jump on board, and we might be on the back-to-back run. And you can't, and this is the last thing, you cannot waste Optimus Prime's years that he has here. You have to maximize it. We wasted Marvin Harris's junior year with Kyle McCord, his last year here. So
Yeah.
you're not going to do the same thing with Optimus Prime. So if Ewers gives us a better shot to use our weapons, then that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. And we haven't seen anything from Saiyan yet to absolutely say, yes, he's the guy, or no, he's not the guy. We're not in the mix for that. And I asked Byrne this question directly, and he just said, Ewers is a fifth year. I asked him, if Ewers comes back, do you take him or do you ride out with Julian? Because Saiyan will probably transfer. He said, Ewers is a fifth year. You absolutely take him. So, and he seems more of Saiyan than any of us. So,
Yeah.
make it how you want.
When it comes down to it, I'm going to share my opinion and different things, but when it comes down to it, there's only one statement that really matters, and it's that I trust Ryan Day.
Yeah.
I trust Ryan Day. I know everybody can bring up Kyle McCord and all that stuff, but you know, he did what he did, and you know, he proved a lot with Will Howard this year. Brought him in, increased his draft stock, has turned him into the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation of college football right now. Set records at Ohio State, the whole 9 yards. But ultimately, I trust Ryan Day. It's what the dude does. So whatever decision he makes. But as far as having a discussion back and forth, there's a couple things that come to mind. Number one, you go out and get Quinn Ewers, you might put yourself in a position like in Oregon or like a Miami where you are then going to have to go out every single year in the portal and grab a starting quarterback. So there's that side of it. And there's the other side where it could potentially hurt recruiting. But in today's day and age, I don't think that's something that really matters anymore. I honestly don't with the portal and with different things. I know us as fans, I know that we want to develop the players that we have. I get that. I'm with you. That's kind of old way of thinking, though. In today's day and age with the transfer portal, it's changed everything. And now I think the number one thing on Ryan Day and the rest of all these head coaches is win a natty. If there's a player in the portal, right, that he can go get and he thinks is going to give us a better chance to win a natty than Julian's saying, I believe Ryan Day is going to go do that. I think that he 100% will do that. Now, will it hurt recruiting? Probably, maybe. And I know we got Tavian St. Clair behind him and Brady Edmonds. But then you ask yourself this. If this is the way college football is now, does that mean that two things? If you want to be a quarterback recruited out of high school for Ohio State, number one, you're going to have to be extremely patient. Or number two, you're going to have to come in and be able to start as a freaking freshman. You're going to have to be able to come in and be just an absolute baller. You know what I mean? So I think this pressure that the portal is creating is going to start making some, high school kids coming out of high school look like freaking look like J.J. Smith. I think we're going to start seeing more and more of those because it's going to be more evident that, hey, if you want to play for a big-time powerhouse right away, then shoot, bro. You don't have time to develop. You don't really have time to go in a game and make mistakes. Why? Because there's players in the portal that aren't going to make those mistakes, and coaches will choose those players over those. Now, that's just my opinion.
What we haven't factored in is that new ruling that JUCO players still have 4 years of eligibility and how that's going to affect high school players as well.
Yeah. And then you got the salary cap that's coming, which I don't really think is going to change much, to be honest with you, because that's just for the school. Outside sources can pay players still. And then you got the scholarship limit of 105 that I think starting next year. And that does away with walk-ons, right? No more walk-ons? Is that official yet? Do we know?
I think it is official. It's going into next season, I believe.
Yeah.
Also, you know what else? If Ewers comes in for a year, I think Tavian St. Clair is going to start the following year. I don't think they'll go to the portal. So I think that will balance it out in terms of still recruiting.
Yeah.
Brady Edmonds has the size and physical tools that he could come right in after Tavian does his 2 years.
Yeah, well, so does Tavian St. Clair. Tavian St. Clair looks like a college quarterback right now. He's not a Julian Sand. Like Julian Sand, the biggest thing on him is he needs to put some weight on, get a little stronger. That's like the biggest knock that's the only information us fans have. We can only see him. We haven't really seen him like get in a rhythm and throw the football and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens, man.
Emily, yes, I wear it sometimes, but I use it as both. I double when I'm not wearing it for a specific reason. I just use it as decor. That's
What's
an
the-
1870 Society Ohio State University hoodie. I had it hanging up before on the wall in the background when they were doing that scum for the November 30th challenge to help raise NIL money for both teams. And I kind of was off put because I didn't understand what they were doing, but it made sense as we further went along. So I retired it for a while, but once I made sense of what they were trying to attempt to do, I decided to start wearing it again. But I won't donate to them. If I donate, it will be to the foundation.
I guess Cookie doesn't like hearing about the saying. Cookie, do you think that, or Scoochie, chocolate chip Scoochie, you're not worried about? A lot of people compare, look at Dylan Gabriel, Sayan's just as big as he is. Dylan Gabriel's a little, thicker, shorter and thicker and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not that concerned. I'm not worried about it. I think, Mick will get him right regardless. You know what I'm saying? So he's bigger than Bryce right now. He played in the SEC. Yeah, I feel you, for sure. But we want the perfect quarterback. And it wouldn't hurt if he
and
put
he's
some
not
weight on
as athletic as Bryce. That's what you guys are forgetting. Dylan Gabriel is very slippery, very quick. So is Bryce Young. So to be that small, you have to have elite extra traits. And I mean, for me, I just have PTSD. I'm gonna be honest. I talked to Devin about this a lot, and I talked to Sean about this a lot. I have PTSD from Kyle McCord. How many balls did he skip on wide receiver screen passes in the grass? A lot. To the point where the wide receivers were upset. I watched Julian 2 different games skip screen passes, and it just gave me PTSD. Honestly, that's just me being honest. I'm not saying he can't be elite or he can't be great, but when I ask people that have seen him play multiple times, that have seen Ewers play, and they say we go with Ewers, then I'm going to trust their opinion.
Yeah. Trust me, we got plenty of time.
Not Dylan Gabriel or Bryce Young.
We got plenty of time to dig into this. I just wanted to talk about it just a little bit tonight. But the truth is, we're playing the Natty, dude. We're playing against Notre Dame in the Natty, the team that's not in a conference, the team that apparently James Franklin thinks shouldn't even be playing because every team has to be in a conference. Well, he just whooped your butt, bruh. Speaking of bad coaches, James Franklin. Hey, dude, what was up with what's Penn State's quarterback again?
Drew
What's his
Aller.
name?
No, I put that whole loss on Drew Aller. I don't even.
Bro, that was bad, bro.
He said he tried to throw that ball away. There's no way in the world you were throwing that ball away. You tried to place that ball and you let it.
Dude, he looked bad, man. I've heard so many people talk about he's the best quarterback and gonna be a high draft round pick. Bro, I do not. I don't know, man. Maybe he'll prove me wrong or something. But isn't he coming back? Is he coming back?
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, he got a choice. Yeah.
And for everybody out there, I trust in Day 100%. So if he picks Julian Sayin, I'm rocking with him. I already know that means he thinks Julian Sayin can take us to the promised land. And obviously, Julian Sayin has amazing arm talent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Mello, listen, I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything, but Emily, I think up here asked if your CW asked if your girlfriend steals your Old Spice.
C-Dub, who wears Old Spice? I'm not an Old Spice man.
This isn't what it is, but then one of your really good, listen, I'm not trying to start anything, so I don't know, Mello. You tell me what's Sean up to, bro. I don't know.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, bro.
When I see you, it's on site.
I mean, I'm just trying to put things out there, man. I'm trying to put things out there. No. All right, man. Good show. Mello, got any closing thoughts and reminders for our listeners, anything like that?
Man, support this team regardless. I want this coaching staff to stay. If you guys are still day out, you guys are nuts, in my opinion. You're the lunatic fringe. Just joking, but no, they and this coaching staff, I hope they stay together. We will have a dynasty, and we're about to go ahead and take it to Notre Dame. I don't think they know what's going to hit them. Jordan Love, you got to be careful what you wish for. My boy Iggy. Oh, did you guys hear what Iggy said? He said, we ran through Texas, we ran through Oregon, ran through Tennessee. Now we're about to run through Notre Dame. And then after, he said, we're going to turn up Magic City. So me and Dev might have to go make an appearance at Magic City.
Oh, bro. If they're going there, we're going there.
He said he was going. Hey, it's going to be packed. It's a small building, so we have to get there early. They got a lot of lemon pepper wings, the best ones in the city.
Bro, Sean's on one tonight, dude.
Stilly, you hitting on Dev's aunt? We didn't okay that. You have to ask permission.
Yeah, she's married, but you can still flirt. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of flirting every now and again, man. All right, yeah. So don't forget, man, tomorrow is a pretty big show. Should I tell them the names?
Go ahead, yeah.
I will.
Tell them the names.
So we got Donnie Nicky coming on. He was the safety for the 2002 national championship team. And then I am waiting on a response from Tim Anderson responded. Tim Anderson's coming on too, defensive tackle for the 2002 Natty team. So we're going to have two players that played. Oh, dude, this is going to be so fire, man.
On the Natty team, baby. That's just good vibes and
man.
good karma. Come on, man. We got two Natty players coming on. You guys got to be lit. You got to spread this word.
Yeah.
Minutes. Drop the Buckeye Boys are having two Natty players on the show tonight. Go ahead and spread it on Buckeye Huddle, the Morning Five, whatever you want to do. It's going to be lit. It's going to be a great interview. You know how we get down. We ask some good questions. We don't ask the same typical questions everybody else does. So, and we're going to talk about this team and get their perspective on everything. Yeah.
Spread the news, man. Hop on Twitter. I'll actually put it up tonight. I'll put the show up tonight so you guys can share the feed everywhere. Donnie Nicky and Tim Anderson coming on tomorrow with us. So it's going to be fire. I wish I could say, hey, if you got questions for them, put them in the chat. But we've got too many people watching now. I can't do that. But if you are a moderator or if you are a member of Buckeye Boys and you put a question in the chat, me and Mello will star it and make sure that we ask that question. So, share it if you would, please. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. Like I said, dude, help get our name out there, dude. We're a fan channel. We love interacting with y'all. We want y'all to be involved in the channel as much as possible. And we really, really, really want to get to 5,000 subscribers so we can start giving away tickets to games next year. So help us do that, man, any way you can. You guys are awesome. We do this for y'all. We love you guys. On that note, go Buckeyes. It's freaking natty time, baby. OH.
Ayo.